Well, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. My review for I Can Only Imagine 2. This was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. And I just wanted a couple days after I watched it to kind of try and fully rein my thoughts together. The first I Can Only Imagine is one of my top 10 favorite movies ever. It means a lot to me. It's like a comfort movie. That movie is special to me. I love like everything about it. The song I Can Only Imagine is my favorite song ever, and just seeing the backstory for the song was really, really good. So getting a sequel to that was awesome. I didn't know what they were going to do. I didn't know much, so I didn't know how it would work or anything. And after watching I Can Only Imagine 2, it is just as good as the first one. I can't say it's better yet. If like I ever will, but I mean they're right there, they're right close to each other. They both 5 out of 5 perfect movies for me. This movie will be like the movie of the year unless something better comes up. There are a couple movies that I can see being better just in forms of I just like that. But as well-made movies go, this might be the most well-made movie of the year for me. A lot of people won't watch it because it's a Christian movie. And, I mean, those don't really get that much attention. The only one that has really, gotten, big attention is Passion of the Christ, which is a really good movie for me. I would say I don't like it as much as the I Can Only Imagine movies, only because, I mean, it's 2 hours of seeing Jesus in pain. It's really well made. It's a spectacular film that I think everyone should watch, but it's not rewatchable or I'll enjoy it as much because you watch Jesus die. But anyway, the I Can Only Imagine, the first one, did really well, and so they made a second one. And I think the only other movies that I can think of that have done that is obviously Passion of the Christ will, I think next year there's gonna be 2, and then there's the God's Not Dead movies, which there's 4 of those. But I was really excited for this, and almost 3 minutes in, let's start. So this movie picks up years later after the first one. Bart now has a kid, and he is just basically riding the high of I Can Only Imagine song. He's kind of getting money from that. He keeps winning all these different awards for it, but obviously one hit song isn't gonna keep him afloat forever. So his band's kind of okay, you got another one. And in this time of his life, he's not doing as good. He's got his son Sam, who he's trying not to be like his father. He's trying not to be abusive and everything like that. And while doing that, he's also not being the best father he could be. Which this movie is basically multiple different things. One of those things is Bart trying to fix his relationship with his son. Then there's Tim Timmons, who comes in, and I really like his character. We'll get to him. And then the other one is kind of a redemption for Bart, where after the first one, he just he hasn't lost his faith, but he's kind of not as into his faith right now as he should be. I'm probably wording it wrong. Someone could explain it better, but his faith isn't as strong as it should be right now. And the whole movie is kind of him getting back into that place and refinding his faith almost. I think they did it really well. Obviously, it's based on a true life story, like the first one. Obviously, but they're both really good. They both have really good stories, and just this, it's just so good. But you get introduced to this new guy, Tim Timmons, who who will now be like the opening act for Mercy Me before their shows. And he comes in, he's like a bright light. He has humor, he is like really godly, all this, and he makes this song that he makes some of it, but he can't figure out like the chorus, he can't figure out the verse, he can't figure out like how this is all working together. So he's like, hey Bart, could you just listen to the song, maybe write some of it? I don't even care if you take credit, I just want to put this song out there. And for most of the movie, Bart's kind of like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And the story with Tim that you get is just really good, and like the way they build up to what eventually where they reveal that he has cancer. And the scene where he's in the hospital, he's talking to Bart, he's like, did you listen to it? And Bart's like, sorry man, no. And he's like, well, that kind of hurts my feelings. And then like after that talk, Bart goes out into the band's bus, listens to the song, writes the last little bit of it, and we'll get to that later. I'll talk about the end later, but you also get his relationship with his son, which I thought was really well done. His son gets diabetes when he's younger. There's a whole scene in the hospital, like at the beginning, which I thought was really well done. And then it cuts to years later. They have a couple more kids, but Sam's like the one that he doesn't really have like a big relationship with. And Sam is like into music and stuff, which kind of started at a young age when him and his father would listen to like music and everything. But now he's kind of teaching himself how to do guitar. He's into music and everything. And Shannon, who's Bart's wife, in this she was recasted, which kind of sucked because I think the actress from the first one was really good, but this actress is also really good. So, I mean, it might suck that they were recasted, but at least it was a good actress. She suggests, hey, why don't you just take Sam with you on this next tour? And Bart at first is like, I don't know if that's a good idea, but ultimately he's just like, okay. So he takes Sam, and Sam kind of develops like a friendship with Tim. And they kind of bond over this hymn, It Is Well With My Soul, which comes in later as well. And that whole plot line I thought was really good. But then you just got all these different things happening. You got Sam and him kind of having to learn, like he learned some of the stuff that Bart, his dad's dad did, and kind of understands it a little bit more. You got Tim, who just wants his song out for the movie, and he's just dealing with like the cancer throughout the movie, and he was really well done. From the trailers, I didn't know how I would feel about his character, but thankfully his character is really good. Well, the guy. It's weird when you're talking about a true story movie, but anyway. And then Bart, who has to deal with trying to be a better dad while also trying to get out of this little like hole he's in, this little like niche in his life. And just the way that all these stories like build up to the ending where Bart listens to the song, writes the rest of it, and that leads into when the song is finally shown, which kind of is like when a regular movie like builds to this like an action or something, it builds to the final battle. I can only imagine, and I can only imagine to build to like a final song. Whereas in the first one, obviously it's I Can Only Imagine. In this one, it's Even If. Obviously, I Can Only Imagine is my favorite song, but Even If is a really good song. And the scene where they do it, and Bart, like, he brings in his son. He's like, here, you play with us. I thought that was really good. And then he's like, this song was written by a good friend of mine, Tim Timmons. He couldn't be here. But then he looks in the crowd, his wife's there, and then Tim's wife is there, and he's like, oh, wow, he did make it. Look there he is. And then he's like, this song's dedicated to Tim. And then he sings the song. which the song is a really good song. Seeing it with backstory makes it even better, just like I think I Can Only Imagine was made better due to the backstory. But the whole scene where he sings the song is just good. Seeing Tim's reaction to him, like, oh, he did listen to it, he finished it, and all that, like, the scenes where it shows him reacting were really good. And then at the end of the song, Bart looks to his son nods. So Bart goes back to the microphone and he sings It Is Well With My Soul. Like 3 times, I think. But he sings that at the end of the song. And I really like how they included that in there. And then he has a moment with his son where he's just like, you're the best of me. And just kind of like fixing the stuff he's been doing. And I really like that scene. It was a good father-son moment. And then he goes to his wife and Tim, and they have good moments. And then the movie wraps up with what it does in like true story movies where it's like where these people are now. Tim obviously survived and now he has like 4 kids. I really like that. That was cool. I'll say no, yeah. And then Bart's son went on to be a singer, and there was a song that he made with his dad that I've heard before. I didn't know it was Bart and his son, but that was really cool. They played the song. I really like that song. And then obviously, like, I Can Only Imagine, like, the band and everything still going really good and everything. But it was such a good movie. I really loved it. The story was good. The way it built to the song was really good. And I just think that everyone in the cast does a really good job. John Michael Finley as Bart in both movies is just spectacular. I really, really like him as Bart, and I think he just brings, like, emotion to it. And his versions of the songs are probably my favorite. I like the originals, but I do think that his versions are just somewhat better for me. I just like his versions. But, and then everyone else, like Tim Timmons, his actor was really good. The son, Shannon, both her actors in the movies. Dennis Quaid as the dad. He was in this for like a little cameo type thing where it was a flashback. I really like how they could include him still. And then you get Chase Adkins as Scott Brickle, who is like the team manager. I really like him in the first one. He's pretty funny. In this one, there's a plot point where he writes a book and it doesn't really sell really well. And I've heard that there's only been like 121 copies sold. It was kind of sad, but at the same time, it was like kind of funny the way they used it as like a humor thing. But it's also kind of sad that he hasn't sold that much. So if I find that book, I'm gonna get it. And then I know there was a book released during along with the movie, which is like even more on the Song of Even If. I do want to get that one as well. But I just think that this movie did really good and continued off the first one really well. It was a story that I do think needed to be told, and I'm happy it was. And if they have more stories to tell, however many more they want to do, I would be there, and I think they would be great as well. I mean, they're 2 for 2. There's no reason to not believe in them. I just, it was one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and so far for now, it's my favorite movie of the year. Now, I mean, there hasn't been that much, but there are very few movies that I do believe are releasing the rest of the year that I do think will be better. And it was a perfect follow-up to the first one. And it's one that once it is released on Blu-ray, I will probably watch it multiple times, just like I watched the first one. The first one is one that I've watched 2-3 times a year at least since I think it released, and maybe a year or two after. But I'll be doing that with this one. And it was just a really, really, really good movie, and I loved it. And if you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend it. you could watch it without the first one. The first one just enhances it, but it does a very good job of explaining everything where you don't need to watch the first one. But I would recommend you do. And if you have seen it, I would like to hear your thoughts. Tell me what you thought in the comments. And yeah, I can only imagine 2. 5 out of 5 for me. Best movie of the year so far. I absolutely loved it, and I would like a third one if they have a story to tell. And if they don't, I mean, this 1-2 punch is really, really good. But yeah, I'll see you in a couple days for a completely different movie. And then after that is March. So yeah, until then, stay safe and have fun.